Hello and good morning. I messed that up. Let's do that again. It's a good thing I'm a good editor. On that note, hello and good morning. My name is Lela Hough, and I welcome you to Mental Health America. Today we have a lot of amazing people to introduce. Let's start with Dr. Sue Cornbluth.
Hi, Lela. Thank you. I am so happy to be here and so excited that we are going to bring to America Mental Health America, where we are going to talk about all different kinds of emotional difficulties that people are struggling with and give solutions to help them move through it.
Good morning, Dr. Sue. It is awesome to have you here this morning. And guess what, everybody? She's not just here, she's going to be always here. She's joining us as a producer of the show. So she's our major segment. And I would like you to also introduce you, our Rabbi Noam Raucher. Hello and good morning, Rabbi.
Good morning, everyone. Good to see you, Dr. Sue. Good to see you, Lela.
Hello, everyone. I would like to talk about mental health this morning. So, on that note, Dr. Sue, talk about a little bit about yourself. Tell me about your passions about this new show.
So, my passion for this show, as I said before, is about helping people to understand that they are not alone when they are going through a mental health issue. For 6 years here in Philadelphia, I was the mental health contributor to NBC 10. I've made mental health my life. I'm a life coach who deals with divorce and helps people move through that. But broader than that, I'm about helping people through all kinds of relationships. I had a radio show as well here in Philadelphia called The Dr. Sue Show, and a television show out of New Jersey called Dr. Sue and You. And all of these shows focused on helping you, the individual that is struggling on a daily basis, to move through life in the healthiest way possible. So I'm here to give the public what they need to help themselves have a better and more positive life.
Wow, thank you so much for that. And Noam, can you introduce yourself and tell me a little bit more about you?
Sure, everyone. Hi, everyone. I'm Noam Raucher. It's great to be here with you. I'm a rabbi, educator, and certified divorce coach in Los Angeles, California. I'm divorced as well, and so I know what it means to go through troubling situations. And I also work a lot with men. As the executive director for the Federation of Jewish Men's Clubs, I work on programming and help men build a community that is focused on health and spiritual well-being. And in that time, I've been able to help create some men's groups in which men can find support with one another in a safe and non-judgmental way. And I believe that community is one of the best ways that we can find support and a healthy lifestyle moving forward.
That was amazing. Thank you. Dr. Sue, can you talk about your other new shows that you have going on?
Yes, so besides this show, we are also producing and writing and starring in The Divorce Experts, which focuses all on moving you through and beyond your divorce in positive ways. Divorce does not have to be the most negative experience in your life. There are positives that come out of that. Also, Lela and I will be doing a show together called The New Dr. Sue and You. And this is where we're going to interview celebrities and other people that have gone through mental health issues in their lives and sharing their stories, their personal journeys through this and beyond to help you. And I hope that you will be joining me very soon every single morning on Good Morning with Dr. Sue. This is where I give you a quick tip of the day to help you move through your relationship journey. On there, we talk about narcissists, toxic people, positive relationships, dating, whatever it is. So get your tips from me every single morning. I can't wait to be with you.
Wow, that's amazing. And I'm glad I'm a part of it.
And I'm glad you are too.
On that note, Noam, talk about your new show you've got going on, Walking with Noam.
Yes, thank you, Lela. I've got a wonderful new show going on called Walking with Noam. I believe that walking is a wonderful, both literal and figurative idea that we can use to help us move through things. I literally go walking with clients, either in neighborhoods or parks or on hikes, and I walk with them through the challenges or difficult and confusing scenarios that they're facing in their life at that moment. And the idea is that we process and I hold them accountable and we set goals and we stay on track for those goals so that we can start at point A and move through to point B, which doesn't necessarily have to be linear. There are many times where we go 2 steps forward and a step back, or a step to the left, or 5 steps to the right. But either way, the point is to move through that challenge with a sense of purpose, a sense of grace, and certainly a sense of meaning at the end, that we've gained something from it, either that be a new perspective, a new set of internal muscles, or even a better way of approaching the world. Nonetheless, the idea is to walk through you and walk with you through those moments so that we can get through it with, like I said, purpose, grace, and meaning.
You guys both have amazing programs that you have started. And with that, what is the goal intention of each of these projects, Dr. Sue?
The goal of each of these projects is to hone in on different aspects of our mental health. We have been living in a world where our mental health has been affected greatly, more than ever since COVID, and people are struggling and do not know where to turn to. So we have created these shows specifically for the needs of the mental health issues that you are going through.
And what is your goal and purpose also with Walking with Noam, Rabbi?
So I appreciate that. The goal and purpose that I have with Walking with Noam is to create a safe environment for all spiritual seekers to come and find a way through whatever they're going through at that time. At the same time, my goal is also to reach men, to create an environment by which they can be seen and heard and loved in a safe and non-judgmental way for exactly the people that they are when they show up to that meeting. And my hope is that sometimes the side-by-side conversations, rather than the direct eye contact conversations, will lead to a greater opportunity for depth in our conversation, because it may feel far less vulnerable or unsafe to do so when you're standing side by side with someone as opposed to direct eye contact.
Thank you very much for that. I know both of you have life coach practices that you have, both of you. Would you like to talk about a little bit about your programs and your foundations, Dr. Sue?
So I have been a life coach and an international expert in high conflict divorce and parental alienation situations for over 15 years. And I work with my clients on a daily basis to help them grow and look at themselves and go deep inside and do the work that they need to do to reconnect with themselves so that they can reconnect with others. There is nothing more important in life than really doing self-work on yourself. That opens you up to all kinds of healthier relationships. I focus mostly on communication, self-compassion, breaking down your defenses, and entering back into relationships in a much healthier place. I am so excited to announce that I am forming a new foundation, a charitable foundation that is called the Dr. Sue and You Mental Health Educational Foundation, so that we can provide services at a limited cost for individuals around the country to get really great help that they need to work on their issues.
I'm glad to say I'm a part of that. And Noam, you have your own foundation too with Walking with Noam.
Yeah, the purpose of the foundation, thank you, Leah. The purpose of the foundation is to help people locate their values and root themselves in those values so that they know that they're moving forward with a purpose-driven life. And all the more so when they get to the end of whatever circumstance they're moving through, they can honor those values which kept them structured, which kept them moving forward, and gave them a sense of meaning after the end of it, so that they could actually determine what are the more values that they want to bring in for later circumstances.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's talk about one of the biggest problems right now that we are facing today, because both of you have taken the passions to move forward in helping people find the right people to be with, like behavioral science and psychiatry. You also help people go to that next step. If I can't help you, I know somebody can. And that's one great thing about both of you two, for the mental health world. It's not a race to have as many clients as you can. It is a race to heal the one individual so they can continue doing their day. And with that, I want to talk about a big subject of ours we both have had issues with through the pandemic, is companies like Cerebral that have touched bases and said, hey, come help, we'll give you help, we will be there for you. And it's like a suicide hotline, but not really. They're scripted, and they push drugs and Adderall, all these different substances on you without a behavioral science doctor to evaluate you. So the biggest problem here today that we're going to discuss is this one.
Worrying claim from former Cerebral workers. Just listen as some describe the level of care that they felt they were giving.
It's like a fast food restaurant. Get as many people in as fast as you can.
Do you feel like clients who come to Cerebral who are suicidal are in safe hands?
No. Without a doubt, no.
This former Cerebral phone coordinator, who didn't want to show his face because he fears reprisal, told us he handled calls from suicidal patients despite having minimal training.
I'm not trained. I don't want to say the wrong thing. And I didn't want that on my conscience, let alone anybody to die because of something I said wrong.
On that note, Dr. Sue, how do you feel about that?
Well, let's begin with the fact that during COVID, people were struggling and trying to get help wherever they could because they were suffering so much from a pandemic that affected everyone at the same time. But here's the thing. When you're desperate, you will go to anybody to get some relief and feel some relief. The problem is that these workers that are involved in providing some kind of relief for you have not been trained in the proper way. They are reading off of a script. That is not what you need to help you through your troubling times. You need somebody that is qualified, that knows how to handle crises such as suicide, which is probably the most scariest time of your life. And you need somebody that can talk you down and get you to the proper help. That takes years of training to be able to provide the kinds of responses that someone needs when they're going through this. Providing mental health help to somebody, you need specific clinical training on how to do that. And I feel awful for the people that were trained to do this. And I feel awful for the people that were receiving this help, because I think what happened there is they had good intentions, but what was being provided did not help human beings to get the help that they really deserved. And in fact, it hurt them more than it helped. So it's very important that you do your research. The internet is a great way to do that. Look up what people are specializing in, contact them, do your research, ask to have a consultation. There are all kinds of better methods that you can do than going to a telehealth program where people are not trained in the proper way or have the background to help you.
I completely agree with you. Rabbi?
Well, I couldn't agree with Dr. Sue more. Absolutely. This is about getting the care that you need, the quality care. And unfortunately, in the clip that we saw, it's much more about quantity care, right? Even the first person who was interviewed, they said it was like the fast food of therapy, right? That it's about getting as many people in as once, right? Without really providing them with the services that they need, or at least the quality service that they need. So everyone gets a little something, but they don't really get the real something that they need. And unfortunately, therapy is really about depth more so than it is about breadth. It's about quality over quantity. I'm sure there are a lot of therapists out there that would like to see every client. They simply can't because there are certain limitations in the day. And certainly what I also know is that it's important to go deeply with one client so you can get to the root of what they're going through so that you can help them move forward from it or heal from it in whatever way possible. But you're not going to get that with one-off, fly-by-night phone call conversations with someone that you've never really met or don't have a relationship with. And by that, I mean trust, in order to really share sincerely from a place of vulnerability. That's just not going to happen. These companies see an opportunity, which is to say that everyone's stressed out there, everyone has anxiety, everyone has trauma, which is true. A lot of people are going through a lot of different things, especially since the pandemic. They're trying to seize on the almighty dollar as opposed to create something that's really worthwhile, meaningful, and helpful to people out there who are suffering and going through difficult situations. Unfortunately, with mental illness, they can start really small as seeds and then snowball into something greater. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in the hands of someone who's A, not a trained professional, and B, only interested in getting as many clients as possible instead of really getting to the root of your problem with you so that you can move forward with healing.
Thank you very much.